Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream. But your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn the boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have bad happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%. That's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not gonna be any friend support. There's gonna be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you gotta do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left.
Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned a network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog.
You're gonna have to play hurt. You're gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
We all have 2 voices in our mind. We have that one voice that we love to hear. that tells you to stay in bed, to take it easy, telling you not to push yourself too hard, to take the day off, just chill today. But there's another voice in your head. It's a voice that we all want to run away from. And it's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you become? What could you become if you worked as hard as you could? What could you become if you disciplined your mind? What could you become if you stopped taking the easy path? What could you become if you decided to force yourself to do more than ever before? You must listen to that voice. Listen to those questions it's asking. That voice is the beast inside you, trying to make its way out.
When you want something, don't expect the world to just hand it to you. Life's not gonna give you for free. There's no handouts. No one's coming to say, oh, you want this? Great, we wanna give this to you. No, life isn't like that. But guess what? That's how most people see success. They think of it as if you just do a few things and you instantly become a winner.
They stick to a diet for 3 days and wonder why they're not a fitness model yet. They do a few tasks they gotta do, have 2 meetings, send 5 emails, call 10 people, then have the audacity to say, why am I not running a $10 million company by now? And it's because they don't get what it really takes. It takes doing the things that most people aren't disciplined enough to do, day after day after day after day, to the best of your ability, doing it better than everybody else. Striving for perfection every single time. It's getting your ass up and working when you don't want to work. It's lifting the weights when all you want to do is lay on the couch. It's focusing on studying when you'd rather be out partying with your friends. And you might hate doing it. It might be the last thing in the world you want to be doing right now. But you've got to do it like you love it. Because that is what discipline is. Don't allow your feelings to take control of your life. You're the one in charge.
At some point, you gotta get tired of losing. And you gotta play angry. You gotta get to the point where you can't relate to lazy people. You don't speak the same language. You gotta execute. You gotta get it done. Because the world treats you different when you get it done.
You gotta start commanding your mind to do the things that it's gonna take to win, no matter how it feels.
Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Stop spending time looking for excuses. Look for solutions. That's what winners do. Losers are always looking for the excuse, where the winner looks for the solution. You gotta look yourself in the face and ask yourself, am I working hard enough? Am I studying hard enough? Am I doing all that I can do? Am I giving it my all? Am I burning the midnight oil every night? Am I pushing myself to my limits? And don't lie to yourself. Be honest. And if the answer is no, you've gotta step up your game and condition yourself to do better. Because all of us can go a little harder, work a little longer, try a little more. If we decide to, it's your mind that holds you back. You take control of your mind, you can take control of your world. Stop choosing the easy path, the path of comfort and convenience. All it's gonna lead you to is a life of quality, circumstances, and a lifestyle. Choose the hard path, the path of discipline, the path of hard work, the path of consistency, the path of blood, sweat, and tears, the path of giving the full measure, the path of going the extra mile. That path will lead you to your dreams, to your goals, to everything you've ever wanted, and ultimately to victory.
Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things, they ain't happening. You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get downright funky if you wanna make it. If you wanna be ordinary, you ain't even gotta listen to me. Just go on about your business. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. But here's the fact. All of you have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
When you quit, your mind says we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind, it says, he's not leaving, so we gotta expand.
We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out. So then these compartments in your brain, they have to work. And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. When you're in suffer mode and you say, I'm not gonna quit. You gotta tell your brain where you wanna go and how you wanna go and how you wanna get there. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back, your mind will say, okay, we're gonna figure it out. Because he is not going to stop.
Push through pain enough, and there's glory on the other side of it. But you gotta get through it.
I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm f***ing exhausted. I'm tired as I'm not gonna complain because I asked for this shit. So I'm gonna smile with tired eyes and realize that everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.
You should quit. You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the f*** I have to, you'll get there in time.
And most people will give up. But you've got to decide that I'm going to be relentless. I refuse to be denied. And I'm going to go all out.
Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate it. Because that's all about you. Effort is 100% in the mind. That's what wins championships. That's what wins battles. No excuses. You're an adult now. You're not kids no more. Do it. Girlfriend or no girlfriend. Do it. Tired or not tired. Do it. You said you was going to do it out your mouth. You're a man now. And a man is only as good as his word, not his emotions. Your emotions don't win championships. So whatever's going to cause you not to be your best, stop it. It's going to be a fight. At some point, you got to go take the life out of it. You got to take that thing out, like you got to take the breath out. So some of y'all are afraid of math. Go after it. Go get it. Don't run from it no more. Go get it. You go in there and go get that grade. You go in there and get that information so you can pass that class. You got to go get it.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly owe that machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play the head game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
You don't feel like it today. I know you had a long night, you're a little tired, you don't feel like it. I get it. But if you don't feel like getting after it, I hope you feel like being weak. I hope you feel like not accomplishing anything, because that's what's gonna happen.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is gonna improve. You think you're gonna get promoted. You think you're gonna get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything. But it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. Change the junk food that you're eating. Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. That's what you need to do. You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier. Get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. And how about you plan what you're going to do in the day? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier? And you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace. That's what you need to do.
You want to know how to get better? You want to know how to take back control of your life? Stop looking for a sweatless solution.
Stop looking for the easy path. Stop looking for someone or something to turn it all around for you. And start looking for your will. Start looking for your discipline.
When you start hearing that weakness creep into your brain, telling you to back down, in that very moment, you've got to decide that you're gonna be the commander of your brain. You've got to shut that weak voice down. It does not get a vote in what you're doing today. Your laziness, your sore legs, your sleepiness, your feelings, none of those get a vote. You're asserting dominance over your mind. You are getting done whether you feel like it or not. If you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can be in better shape. The truth is, I can work harder than I'm working right now. The truth is, I can do more for my family. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. If that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
I don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them. That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Are you hearing me? You gotta have that dog. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. And everybody that's running with you gotta be intentional and deliberate. Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is. But most people will not be successful because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're gonna quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it. Or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep going to get to go. Like you're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. There's no one say, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to get it done. I don't want to get to the next level. No, every person wants to make their dreams become a reality.
But the reason why most people will never get it, never achieve it, and never succeed is because you got to give up stuff in order to go up. You gotta make sacrifices. You gotta discipline yourself consistently. You gotta program yourself to suffer on a daily basis in order to reform those lazy habits into ones that build success.
I need you to do that sucks every day of your life. That's how you get better. That's how you get stronger. You embrace the resistance you feel when you're stretching yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. And if you're not pushing yourself, you're shrinking. You are fading away. And the reason why we fast from time to time is not that we have to fast, but at some point you gotta fast because you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want.
Everybody wants it, everybody dreams of it, but very few are willing to work for it. So you gotta make a declaration that you are gonna be one of those few people who will make it happen. Talk is cheap, so you shut your mouth and grind. Your actions will speak for themselves. You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. The little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change. Reset your brain, reset your habits, reset your life.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not staying long enough to make something happen. You're not there long enough. You're not studying long enough. You didn't read a whole book and got what? I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once. You can't get nothing from reading 100 pages one time. I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times, and I mean consume it in your life right now. The reason why you're not successful, you all over the place. You just taking the axe and just swinging it, and you wondering why you're not getting the results you want.
Because what real students do is sharpen the axe first, and then they don't just hit the tree 1,000 times. They hit the tree 1,000 times where? In the same spot. You hitting it all over the place. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about your thinking. I need you to think about what you're thinking about, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominate. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
Get focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who are you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button, or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you were afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that's scaring you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you won, because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged. I knew most people would get distracted. I knew most people were going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work, because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that.
Most people have half their life all the time. I knew they were going to get tired. They were going to flinch. They were going to get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to save money. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission at hand. No one's with me, because I don't allow them to. It's got to be that way. It's got to be unconditionally focused. I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to be distracted. And every day you try to master it, be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You have every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room.
I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time.
When you start anything, to learn something new, to create a business, to become more in shape, the first step, the first day, the first minute, you're excited. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. The next day comes and you're like, man, this is a little tougher. And then you take another step and another step, and you end up admitting to yourself, this is pretty damn hard. The enthusiasm from the beginning of the process starts to fade out. You forgot why you started. All you could think about is that next grueling step, that next terrible workout, that next day at work that you just can't stand anymore. And you forget the purpose of why you started. And things become monotonous. They become hard. They become miserable. You become angry. You become frustrated. And guys, that is normal. Anytime you start something new, anytime you set out on a new path, anytime you move out of your comfort zone, you're gonna go through a bell curve of frustration. You're gonna be excited, you're gonna be pumped, You're gonna have the momentum to carry you through the first 2 or 3 or 4 days. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 3 weeks. But what happens when that energy fades? What happens when you start to get frustrated? What happens when you start to feel like a grind and things get grueling and they get gritty and they get tough and it gets harder to move through the process every single day? What happens then? Most people quit.
Do not accept that. Do not allow the process to break you. You embed that long-term goal into your brain, and every single day of your life, from here on out, you do something about it. However small or insignificant each step may seem, you take it. You make it happen.
The way in which you make massive progress is learning the art of becoming single-minded, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do when you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single.
Clarity is power. If you know exactly what it is you really want, what you desire, what you're really after, the more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Your brain's like a servo mechanism and a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result. I need to know the result and the after before I ever ask myself what to do. Get focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. If you just keep looking at those outcomes every day, how am I doing on that outcome? Your brain will come up with ways to get to that outcome. I promise you. Focus on outcomes, not on activities.
You'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been staring there, looking you in the face, saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
If you're creative enough, can you find the answer, yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough, yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you, yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money, even if you don't have it, yes or no? Creativity, decisiveness, passion, these are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take an island, burning boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. I can't get apart. I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. It's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative.
See, a lot of us, because of our limited vision of ourselves, a lot of us who begin to focus on problems and enable them to overwhelm us, we begin to think that we have no options. We begin to believe that there's no way out. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
But many of you all over the place, and that's why you'll never be what you want to be. That's why you'll never have what you want to have. And I'm asking that the 24 hours in your life be very intentional, very deliberate, that you be very strategic. You're very deliberate about what time you wake up. You're very deliberate about what time you go to bed. You're very deliberate about what you eat. You're very deliberate about the people you bring in your life. You are very deliberate about the books that you read. You're very deliberate about what you watch on television. You are very, very focused, intentional, and deliberate. You go in the future and you see your future, baby. You look at it. You see where you want to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years. And then you come back to the present, to this particular day, to this particular spot. Get in the spot and you master today, and you don't worry about tomorrow, and you ain't tripping on your past. Why? Because your past don't count no more, and your future is so far ahead that you don't even need to be worried about that. You master the present. You master Monday, and then you take on Tuesday. And once you lick Tuesday, then you say Wednesday, come on. And then you take Thursday, and then you master Friday, and then you tell the weekend, bring it on. And when you get to the point where you start winning the day, then you start winning a week, and then you start winning a month, and then you start winning a year. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Go fast, go hard, and win the day. And if you can do that, you'll have, you'll be, and you'll do whatever you want to do.
The last chapter of your story has not been written yet. The fact that you're here today is a testament to the fact that whatever you're up against hasn't been able to destroy you.
Don't give in. Don't be like everybody else. Don't give up. Don't settle because things are hard.
Now, will it be turbulent? Yes. Will it be easy? No. Will I make a lot of mistakes? Yes. Will I get hurt? Yes. Pain is everywhere. Most people spend their life not wanting to deal with the pain of rejection, the pain of defeat, the pain of losing, the pain of failure, the pain. That's called life. Life is full of pain, but there's no gain without pain.
We are being pressed from every side by troubles, but we're not crushed. We're not boxed in. We're not left without a way out. We are not cornered. So the problems are coming in from every angle, but there is always a way of escape.
You want me to tell you to give up? Huh? You want me to tell you to quit? It's all right to give up. It's all right to surrender. That's what you want me to say? I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is this, that I did it. And I got here from my mind. And I envisioned it. I saw myself when I was still homeless, when I was still a high school dropout, when I was sleeping in abandoned buildings. I saw myself one day being where I am right now. I don't care where you are. Use what you got to get what you want. Use your mind. Use your vision. Use your dream. I dreamed my way out the hood. I dreamed my way out. And then I saw it. And then I would get up every day and I would grind hard. You gotta have a why. You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do. If you don't know what your why is and your why isn't strong, you're gonna get knocked out every single day. But when you know what your why is, you can make it.
You've got to activate the thinker in you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. What if you lose? What if you fail? What if things don't work out? So what? It's not about the goals that you reach, it's about what you become in the process. That's what it's about.
50% of winning is showing up for the fight. The fight is half over when you show up. You will never win a fight you don't show up for.
I'm showing up for the fight. Here I am, ready for duty. I'm gonna face this head on and let the chips fall where they may.
Every one of my successes is stacked on top of failures. The joy is not in the success, the joy is in trying. The joy is in the process. That I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep going at it. See, failure is forming my future. Failure is just another peg in the ladder for me to go higher.
It's been rough, it's been hard, but I made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. You will not stop me.
It's hard, I know it's hard, but do it hard.
The greatest test is in transition. If you are being tested, you are in transition.
And you gotta get it in your brain that where you are right now is not the end. It's just a transition. Stop letting stuff derail you. Stop getting stuck. Every time life don't go your way, stop quitting. Stop giving up. Keep fighting in the midst of the struggle. Keep fighting. Keep thinking positive. You only lose when you quit. You gotta put up the dukes, baby. And you gotta be willing to fight that thing up. If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football. I'm telling you, at the end of the fight is going to come victory. Recycle your pain. You can decide the shape, the form. You can decide the product that comes from your pain.
And maybe you've been knocked down in your life and it seems like, hey, the fight is over. It is not over if you've been knocked down. It's only over if you quit. We may be knocked down, but we're never knocked out. We get up again and we keep going. If you make the decision to get up one more time, I'm telling you, you will win the fight.
For most people, the easiest thing in the world to do is to give up and to quit. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain. Don't take no effort. The easiest thing in the world to do is to be negative. It takes work to have a perspective that see things on the right side of the coin. You gotta fight for that. It takes work to show up every single day, and when things are not playing in our favor, to say, you know what, man, it's might not playing in my favor right now, but I'm gonna still show up, and I'm gonna give everything I got to it because I value what I'm a part of. It takes work to have the right perspective. And I'm a firm believer that perspective drives performance every day of the week.
That ain't got nothing to do with talent.
That's just got everything to do with effort. Nothing else. And the only thing that's kept me around is my effort. Because I wasn't a number one recruit. I wasn't a number one linebacker. I wasn't even a media guy. All I ever knew was effort will get me seen on tape. Effort will get me noticed to get to the league. Effort would one day take care of my mom and my kids. Effort, which is between you and you. Nobody else can give you effort. Effort is with inside, man.
You're not going to be the best. You're not going to catch the best if you're not intentional and deliberate. And there are those of you in your space, and whatever you're trying to do, you don't even represent the best in your space, and you still not giving 120. It doesn't matter if you're interested. It doesn't matter if you're somewhat committed. It only matters if you're fully committed. Where are you in that spectrum? Where would you place yourself? Am I interested in this, committed to this, or am I fully committed to this? You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in, when you do videos every single Monday and ain't nobody paying you. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6 when you don't have to.
Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind. No coach, no player, nobody else can make you run to the ball. Nobody else can make you finish your tackle. Nobody else can do it. When you finally figure it out, how to win real battles, it's found through fundamentals. That's what wins championships. That's what wins battles. Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like.
Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
Nobody ain't got to convince me of what I do. I do what I do because I do what I do, because I'm built from something.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Starting with a little dream, like building your business and saying, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to be extraordinary. Because the days slip into weeks, the weeks slip into months, the months slip into years. Before you know it, 1 year's gone by. 5 years have gone by. Well, 1 year's going to go by anyway. Why not get there world class in this business, world class in your life?
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. Cut the TV off. It's going to be there. You got a job to do. That's what you're getting paid for. Have some pride.
Cut off the TV, son. Cut that doggone football game up. It ain't doing nothing for you. They making millions, you not. More stuff comes to you when you execute, son.
Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more.
The only thing you do for success, there's no discounts. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking there are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn.
You can't be in love with the idea of success. You can't be in love with the results and not be in love with the work. You have to love the process. You have to love the daily grind. You have to love the lessons learned. You have to love the little victories. You have to love the experiences that the journey provides you. You have to love the relationships. You have to love the whole thing to produce the result that you are in love with. You have to do a lot that nobody ever sees or thanks you for or rewards you for a long time. And it's not just a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday effort. It's a lifestyle. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week commitment.
When I tell you to put forth effort, I'm talking about life and death. The effort that you put forth either is going to bring life to your finances, to your health. When you put forth effort, your money is going to look different when you put forth effort. You look different. And when you don't put forth that effort, it's death.
I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
I want you to feel your center right now, your strength. I want you to just inside yourself, promise yourself you're never going to settle. Never settle for less than you can be, do, give, or create. Hold a new standard that you're going to constantly strengthen your state, your focus, your physiology. All you gotta decide is surround yourself with the right people. All you gotta decide is what you're committed to, what's a must for you. Shift the belief, find what works. When it gets tough, get stronger and give more. And if you do that each day with enough energy, I'm telling you, the stuff you once dreamed about will be a reality.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. When they did it for all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching, so when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in self-paralysis, and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy. You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel. So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk, 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 talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting up, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this. If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% later. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great. When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up.
Let me tell you something about the greats. We found a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you the reward. Somebody's gotta prod you. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you said you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dreamed to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dog. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we're doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort. You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
When you have a dream, that dream will always be tested. Life is gonna see how bad you really want it. It's gonna throw so many problems in your path. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose loved ones. You're gonna face disappointment constantly. You're gonna feel lost and won't know what to do or where to go.
This is where you discover what you are really made of. Are you going to crumble under the weight, or are you going to rise, stronger and more determined than ever? It's in these moments of uncertainty and pain that your true character is forged.
If you really want it, like you say you want it, you will find a way. You'll stop at nothing to reach it, because that's what winners do. They don't sit around and feel sorry for themselves. They get their up and move forward. They don't allow the pain to stop them. They use it as fuel to go harder. Winners understand that the path to getting to their dreams is not supposed to be easy. Every challenge, every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become even more unstoppable.
And that's exactly why those roadblocks and issues are there in the first place. They're there to push whatever that dream is that's on the inside of you out.
So you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done, when you've executed.
Those days, you don't want to get up and get to work? You gotta think about the people you're doing this for. When that alarm goes off and the last thing you want to do is get up, you remind yourself, I'm doing this for my wife, I'm doing this for my husband, I'm doing this for my kids, for my family, and for myself, for my own well-being, for making myself a better person, to become more, to do more, to have more.
And when you can think about those things, you can go one more mile. You can go one more hour. You can go one more day at work. You can push yourself to do more than you thought you could.
Because your skill will only take you so far. Your average instincts will only get you to a certain point. But when you have mental toughness, when you become gritty, when you build your willpower, when you develop that ability to go through really hard, when you really don't want to do it, when everything sucks, when it's miserable, but you can force your mind and body to get the job done. That's when you will reach greatness and make it happen.
In life, we all hit points where we've got to choose between giving up or going all in. It's at these moments we got to remember, we're not defined by how many times we've been knocked down, but by how many times we stand the...
This whole thing is about realizing you got this wild potential inside you, and all the tough stuff you gotta do is just the key to letting it loose. Picture yourself staring at a huge mountain. It represents every single doubt, fear, and challenge you've ever faced. But inside you, there's this fire, this unstoppable force saying, I got this. This will not stop me.
Think about it. Every monumental thing that's ever been done was once thought impossible. The world's full of stories of people who said and went for their dreams, who stared down the storm and came out on top. You're no different. You got endless potential and strength like no one's business.
And when you dream your dream, I want you to know there are thousands of other people who want exactly the same dream. You're not the only one who wants to be number one. You're not the only one who wants to go to the NBA. So what do you have to do? You gotta outwork, outgrind, and outperform every last one of them. You gotta eat it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta sleep it. Every single thing you do in your life has to pour into that dream.
You dedicate yourself to that thing you want, and you block out everything else. You don't allow yourself to get pulled off course. If it doesn't support the direction you want to head, you tell it no. You have to make these sacrifices. You have to give up stuff in order to go up. Every single person you look up to, they had the strength to go through all the crap and mud in life to get to the highest peaks. Because they were willing to push through all the judgment of others and the pain of failing over and over and the tears when everything was going wrong. And because they fought through all of that, they get to enjoy all of the money, all of the support, all of the love, all of the success that I know you want to reach. And if you want to get to that level, you got to become relentless and not allow any of the painful things turn you around.
It's in these trenches that legends are made, where you mold yourself into the titan you're meant to be. You don't just survive the storm. You learn to dance in the rain, to take those hits and keep moving forward, to get rejected over and over and keep moving forward, driven by the raw, unyielding desire to see your dream realized, doing whatever it takes, paying whatever price. You keep grinding and keep fighting, because you know, on the other side of this hell is the life you've been fighting for.
If I can take it, I can make it.
If you can take it, you can make it.
If you can just keep believing when nothing in you is working, when all your external forces have given way, if you can just manage to somehow keep hoping, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. If you can just keep hope alive, you can make it. Because if you keep hoping, it is really faith. You just gotta transpose it into I hope this happened to I believe this can happen.
Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself.
There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it.
Every time you find yourself saying that you can't do something, putting yourself down, being negative about you and the possibilities for you, you've got to literally catch yourself. And you've got to affirm to yourself, hey, no, I can make it. There's some way this can happen for me. You've got to remind yourself that you've got powers within you, talents within you that you haven't even reached for yet. That once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to experiment with your life, to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You've got to say yes. Yes to my dreams. Yes to me. Yes, I can. Doesn't matter how many failures I've made. Doesn't matter how many mistakes I've endured. Doesn't matter about what I've done. I can make it.
I don't know one that is successful that doesn't take inventory of every comment that anybody has ever made to them. Every time somebody doubts them, they get pissed. And when they get pissed, they go out and do productive things. They don't dwell. They don't sit at home crying their beer. They go to the gym. They get their business plan together. They do whatever it takes to smash people in the mouth with their progress. Build the kind of life that says, I told you so, without having to say a word. It's about taking what people say you can't do and shoving it down their throat. 100 to nothing. That's how I operate. And that's how you should be thinking about it too.
Effort is isolated. Nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind.
Don't give in. Don't be like everybody else. Don't give up. Don't settle because things are hard. Don't let people talk you into their life. become stronger, become better, become faster, become smarter, become more productive.
When life stagger you, the thing that'll get you up on your knees and keep on fighting is, it's possible. If I just stand long enough, I can pull this off. I can do it. I'm putting it out here. I'm not going to rest until I have it. It's necessary. I'm going to do it. Because whatever you have to do, it's worth it because it's your life's purpose. And once you know that, it is done.
While they judge you, you grind. While they make fun of you, you double down on your effort. While they sleep, you study. While they keep talking about you, you keep working.
And years from now, when they look at their own life and compare it to yours, they'll look like in comparison to you. Because you will be miles ahead of them.
You've got to focus on you. There's gonna be so much noise from the outside world trying to steal your focus, trying to tell you you're not good enough. There's gonna be haters all the time on what you're trying to accomplish in your life.
You gotta shut them up with your results. The best way to silence them is through activity, through success.
Who cares what they say? Who cares what they think? You've got to be so confident, so committed, so locked in on your mission that you don't even notice them anymore. They blur into the background while you focus entirely on your goals.
When life presents its challenges, it's a call for you to stand up for yourself, to fight back. You're going to be attacked constantly by all these voices around you and sometimes within you. Don't let the negative thoughts or the words of others derail you. Affirm to yourself that you can do it. You can handle it. You're going to get through it. No small obstacle can halt your progress. The strategy is to keep your focus directed inward, consistently working on improving yourself, pursuing your dreams, and building your future.
Your success and achievements will speak volumes, serving as your comeback to any disbelief and negativity.
Always remember, the real victors in life are those who concentrate on their path, building their own road to greatness, undisturbed by the distractions that surround them.
When you can focus solely on you, you stop giving about what others think. You activate your button, and this is what you gotta do if you wanna be successful. Because the world doesn't give about your dreams. It's gonna beat you down and take it all away from you if you let it. So you gotta decide that you're gonna stand up for yourself, and you have to grind every day.
You're going to have to lose something where you're trying to go. You might have to give up some friends. You might have to give up some opportunities. You might have to give up some stuff in order to go from good to great. Develop a single-minded obsession with your goals. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe your dreams. Every action, every thought should be aligned with getting you closer to where you want to be.
This process is about discipline, pushing yourself even when you don't feel like it. It's about waking up every day, starving for success, ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way.
And yes, it's going to be hard. People will talk, question, and doubt you constantly, but that's their problem, not yours. Your job is to stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize.
Doing what you hate to do is one of the most powerful disciplines you can develop. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, tackling the tasks you dread, and facing your fears head on. It's not just about enduring discomfort, it's about actively seeking it out and conquering it.
And all these average people around you won't understand why you're doing so much, why you're trying so hard, why you won't just take a break and hang out with everybody. They won't get it. And that's why they won't ever reach the levels of success you will. Because as you stay focused on the goal at hand and you keep pouring in all this time and effort into that thing, you'll start to see massive returns on that investment.
Normal people will keep judging you and won't ever understand and continue talking about you. Don't waste your time trying to change their minds. Just shut them up with your results. Because the best revenge in life is massive success. You prove them wrong with success. They won't have anything left to talk about.
But in order to get to that point, you gotta have mental toughness. It's easy to do things when you feel like it, but doing something you hate, especially when you don't want to, is hard. But the more you do it, the more you push yourself to execute when your body and mind tells you to take a break, the stronger your willpower to do hard stuff will become. You build your level of grit through completing hard tasks. They will make you stronger.
The things we resist are the things that offer us the most significant opportunity for growth. By facing these tasks, you find new passions, develop new skills, and uncover strengths you didn't even know you had.
And when you're working, you need to minimize distractions. In today's world, with constant notifications and interruptions, it's crucial to create an environment conducive to focus.
Managing your time is absolutely essential. Don't just wing it. Plan your days and stick to that plan. Break your tasks into smaller chunks so you don't get overwhelmed and lose your mind. Stay on track and don't let procrastination get the better of you. The real champions of this world, they don't play around with focus like it's some short-term game. They commit to it like it is their lifeline. They lock in on their goals with a laser-like focus, and they don't let go. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month. They stay dialed in for as long as it damn takes. They treat their objective not just as distant dreams, but as inevitable realities. Their goals are not mere wishes. They are future truths they're working to manifest. Every step they take, every decision they make is driven by an unwavering commitment to their vision.
It's this level of dedication, this refusal to be sidetracked or derailed, that separates the true achievers from everybody else in the world.
You're gonna have so many people tell you, you don't have what it takes. How are you, of all people, gonna do that? You're being unrealistic. You're not gonna make it. Don't believe a word they say. You're gonna have to block out the noise of everyone around you and focus on yourself.
You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. It's not the genetic guy who wins, or the guy with the most potential that wins. It's a person with the greatest perseverance that wins. Always willing to get up and go at it again and go at it again. That's the guy who has his hand raised later in life, guys. That's the guy you guys need to be.
Every true leader, they're called weird. When you do the things of real leadership, you're going to be called strange. Get strong enough in your own skin that when people laugh at you or when they throw stones at you, you keep on going.
What are you going to do now? How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness this, and you'll read about me years from now.
Everybody who wronged you in the past, they gonna have to feel you. They gonna have to see you. Don't get even. Don't worry about getting even when you already beat the odds.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. I just kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you.
We all get knocked out. I've had my haters. I've had people who've come against me, who try to sabotage me. I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied.
Your ability to go all in, and when I say all in, I mean all the every moment, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, for as long as it takes for you to get where you're going. You should be consumed with that path. What you do at night matters. What you do in the morning matters. What you do when your friends are out drinking matters. What you do on Saturday matters. What you do on Sunday matters. The success clock doesn't give a what day it is. It's gonna run no matter what. And you guys pretend like you can work 7, 8, 10 hours a day and then spend the rest of your time off, and you think you're gonna be somewhere, and you're not. And you're surrounded by people who enable this thought process. Your good friends, your family, people who have accepted mediocrity as a life. Oh, you don't need to work on weekends. Why do you work so hard at night? Why do you get up so early and do that? Why do you train so hard? Why are you reading all these books when we're out drinking beer?
When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why can't you be satisfied? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts.
Anybody ever tell you, hey look, just be satisfied with what you got? No! Don't believe them. Get them away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got. You should double your business. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Easy never pays well. So if you're thinking that it's just going to be a walk in the park, you're dead wrong. You have to give it every bit of effort and energy you have to pull it off. And you have to work harder than everyone else. Work while they sleep, learn while they party, save while they spend, and live like they dream.